was dating somebody on a longer term basis, thought she was the good girl, she can never do anything to harm me. But closer to the end of the relationship, spent the night with her, woke up in the morning, she spent the night with me. There was a fight, she decided to walk out of the conversation, not complete it, and go out that night with her girlfriend. Me sitting there like a pleb thinking, whatever, no big deal. Turns out her and her girlfriend go out and she finds some guy in the club, spends the night with him, wakes up in the morning, spends the morning with him, and off she goes. A few weeks later, she tries to reconcile with me as if nothing happened. All women have the capacity to behave in a fashion that will surprise you fellows. I'm not saying that you should go around expecting it to happen or fishing for signs or signals that it might happen. The way that I view red pill awareness is basically to navigate through life with the understanding that these types of things can't happen.
Real men do not date women. Our modern society has fooled all of you. Hook up, spin plates, promiscuity, just test the waters. And I understand on paper it sounds good. But the reality is, the fruits of this are evident. The divorce rate is over 50%, and the majority of women will be childless and single within a few years' time. So what do we do instead? Court and vet. You first as a man need a period of isolation connecting solely with God, yourself, and your mission above. Once you've done this, I believe you enter phase 2. This is vetting. A woman will aid you in this quest. She is your helpmate. It is up to you as a man to vet this woman accordingly to make sure you are a viable match. Once you have done this for 8 to 12 months, I believe you can then enter the final step. This, my friends, is marriage and ultimately a family. So it's time to grow up, follow God, and when your future wife approaches you, may you have the objectivity to vet her accordingly, and vice versa.
Men are happy to walk away marriage because it is like a prison.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You gonna give me a hug or what? Oh, no, that's lame.
That's the traditional way.
Yeah, that's lame.
No, it's not. It's
Very
respectful.
lame. No, lame.
No?
Lame.
Oh,
Lame.
well, you can just sit down then.
Well, you can stand up.
Or you could just sit down.
Oh, I'm gonna walk out then.
Air hugs.
She didn't want to stand up. Typical feminist. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You got to play the game, guys. This is how women are nowadays. You know, they want to sit there and think, oh, no, I'm not going to stand up. And it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to demolish you in this debate.
I just think marriage is a no. In today's day and age, I mean, there's obviously the tradition component if you're religious, but you know, when it comes to the government involvement and the potential financial ramifications of having to unwind a marriage, it does not make sense. So don't get married, guys. Don't do it. You do, but you could have a life partner, for example, but you just don't need the government involved.
Exactly
in that.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
And fully want the whole white picket fence. We are husband and wife, but I just don't feel the need to go and sign some paper that lets them know that we are.
Yep.
This view is supported by an internet movie that discourages men from dating contemporary American women and encourages them to look into partnerships overseas. The basic idea is that relationships with women abroad might provide a more positive dynamic for males because they are not tainted by the stereotypes of American women. This pattern reflects a broader change in gender roles and expectations in society. Because modern American women are frequently portrayed as difficult or demanding to satisfy, men are forced to look elsewhere. This impression is influenced by a number of factors, such as changing cultural norms, economic pressures, and gender roles. Gender roles are shifting, which is one important issue. The typical roles that women play in relationships may change or become more ambiguous, as more of them pursue higher education and professional prospects. For males, this change can be confusing and unsettling, as they may find it difficult to adjust to these new dynamics. Today's self-centered women frequently fail to recognize the vital role fathers play in the lives of their children. They could think that a mother can raise and support a child well enough on her own. But as time goes on, they learn how important having a father figure is. Regretfully, by the time they come to this conclusion, it might be too late to make things right, leaving them with nothing but regret. This delayed realization emphasizes how critical it is to recognize and value each of the parental roles in a child's growth. When it comes to establishing emotional stability, offering direction, and acting as positive role models, fathers are special and invaluable.
the guy who delivered your Amazon parcel, the guy in your class, the guy that you worked with, most guys are invisible. It is only the high value guys that catches women's attention, the guy who's tall, attractive, and shape successful. So when women who have had that taste of the high life, have been that desirable, gotten all the attention, everything, they then get to a point where now they're being treated how most guys are treated. Guys don't feel sorry for them. A lot of guys feel that if you wanted to have a partner, have a family, and settle down, you get to that point in life and you haven't done that, it's because you fucked up, because you definitely had an abundance of opportunity to do that. So it's very difficult for a lot of guys to have sympathy, because for a lot of guys it's like, this is how it's been for us since day one. And most of us don't even get to a point where we can attract a girl like you. You've been there, you've had the chance to get those guys, but because you decided to play around, maybe you didn't want it serious, and that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but you have to accept what comes with the path that you choose.
Y'all, one of my coworkers ran me down in Target, and she finally thought she had her little opportunity to tell me what she really thought about my page and my song. She said, Brandon, I really have to tell you something. I said, Michelle, I'm gonna stop you right now. We don't get along at work. I'm not on the clock. I don't have to listen to what the fuck you have to say right now. More importantly, your life is full of chaos, hypocrisy, and inconsistency. Why should I give a fuck about what you think about anything? I will see you at work tomorrow.
Men want attention and will do anything to get it, just like a child.
Let's correct that statement, okay? Some people will do anything for attention and do anything to get it.
They will be good to get attention and they will be bad to get attention.
It's almost like that's part of human behavior.
Stop answering to men when they make childish or pandering or accusatory statements.
Does one mean like this one?
Responding to someone who has interrupted a conversation that they aren't even invited to is like saying it's okay that they're there.
Well, that's nice, but I'm definitely interrupting this conversation.
Ignore, delete, block, whatever you have to do to not trigger a cortisol or endocrine or any kind of response in your body. It's about you.
Now there's a radical change in priorities. Everything is about the individual and their feelings.
Compared to younger men, elder men are seen by modern women as being more capable of delivering dignity and respect. This viewpoint frequently originates from the idea that having money means being respected, and that being well off means having dignity. Many believe that a financially secure, mature guy is better equipped to satisfy the demands and wants of a woman. Younger men might not be able to live up to the materialistic expectations of modern women, because they are frequently having difficulties in their employment and financial lives. As such, they may be seen as not having the resources to provide the kind of life or assistance that they want. On the other hand, these women might find an older man with riches and material possessions, like an expensive car, more attractive.
So my boyfriend turned red pill, and at this point we haven't spoke for about a month, and I can't cope with the fact that someone who I saw is so compassionate and thoughtful and intelligent, so caring and open-minded, just completely did a 180. They were just so supportive and caring, and even when I would have my self-sabotaging episodes, they still
trying to take away no-fault divorce, making it harder for divorce to happen. Women initiate 70% of divorces, and as we know, there's a rise of single, lonely men. We see as women gain more money and more agency over their lives, their choices surrounding men are different. Say they took away no-fault divorce. Women would just stop getting married. Thank you, Jesus! Women are smart, and that's the thing that I'm like, when are people just going to understand? Women are smart, and when they have agency, they're going to make their own choices. Period. There's no law. They can keep trying. They can keep trying to put laws on women to limit their control. But at the end of the day, women are smart. Women have brains.
Knowing I have to let my type go because I want to get married, have babies and be at peace. My grandma telling me she thinks the other guy was her one true love after 50 years. And my mom telling me she sometimes thinks about what her life would have looked like with the guy she was with before my dad.
Men can't believe that women are single by choice because men aren't single by choice. They may be finding women to go on dates with, but nothing's sticking. And so they're lashing out at women saying things like, have fun being single or enjoy your cats. Sir, that's the whole point, is that I am having fun being single and I love my cats. And I also love my peace of mind, not having to be accountable to somebody who isn't really that interested. He's not interested in me and my life and things that I want and need out of life. He's interested in his own feelings of being alone and being single. And why can't women just do what he needs them to do? As men age alone, it is not good. Ask any hospice nurse or nursing home nurse or even hospital nurses. No one's visiting. And the men are not okay. But I'm finding that as I age, I am getting happier and happier with myself and my girlfriends and my family. And the idea of having to accommodate a man's insecurities or even securities is just less and less appealing. Us ladies are getting together. We're growing our friendships. We're doing things. And we're finding that we're happier than we've ever been. And men can absolutely not understand that. They want to be able to do less and less and know that there's a woman there to drive them to the hospital or organize their medications or just sit around and do whatever it is that they want to do and take up time and space in her life and accommodate him. And I would dare say, especially the men that are just doing a bunch of dating and saying that they're having a great time and nothing is sticking for them. The men that I know that are dating a bunch are looking for a permanent woman. They're not really happy with that lifestyle. Of course, they have to pretend, like that's the dream. But they're looking for the ride or die until they're 80 and they know that that person's going to be there to help them change their diapers. It's terrifying to them. Me and my girlies and my family, we know that we'll show up for each other because there's no expectation that we're going to change or that there's anything wrong with us. We're just doing what we want to do and enjoying each other's time and space. No one needs to change. But men get their hands on a woman that looks like she might stick around, and immediately he's got a list of things that he's going to need from her. So I say the same thing back to those men. Have fun being single. I happen to love it.
The biggest difference that I see between the group of women that are single by choice and the group of men that are single by choice, because they do exist, is that women that are looking at the group of men that are single by choice will refuse to believe that they're single by choice. They will look at them and say, no, you aren't. No, you want to be in a relationship with women. Women just don't want you, and that's why you're single. Whereas men will look at the group of women that are single by choice, and they will say, cool, I don't care. Men do not care about women that are saying that they are single by choice. And I think this comes from a place of men wanting to be in relationships with women that want to be in relationships with them. They are literally not attracted to women that don't want them. And so many women just do not understand this.
This generation of men aren't romantic at all. And I could say something like, this generation of women don't cook at all, but that would probably get me in trouble, right? I feel like a lot of men aren't romantic anymore because we have told them that we didn't like those things. We don't want him to open the door because we're capable of opening it ourselves. We don't want him to buy us flowers because we're able to buy our own flowers. If you want your man to be romantic, tell him the things that you like. Show massive appreciation when he does those things. And don't ever discount his efforts by saying something along the lines of, you never buy me flowers.
But all of my friends who prioritized having kids in their 20s are all now single moms at 40 and divorced. I got so many of these comments on my last video, so I'm going to touch on it now. Disregarding exceptional reasons such as real abuse, the fact is 80% of women are the ones ending marriages, 90% if they have a degree. Now, I've known about this statistic way before Jordan Peterson started popping off, and unfortunately it was due to my own research because I saw how many of my female friends were leaving their husbands. I'm very tired of this victim mentality that has manifested within the female realm. It is hard for me to have empathy for single divorced moms when 90% of the time they are at fault for it. It is completely self-inflicted. I'm also coming from a place of self-critique because, believe it or not, just like every woman in America, I have succumbed to some of those thoughts. But we listen to social media and mass media and we tell ourselves that there's someone else there that's going to treat us even better, and we neglect the other party, which is our husbands, and then all the children that are involved as well. Oh, but let's not forget the vows you took. You cannot discredit my theory of prioritizing a family first and then working on a career, all because you have women that fall in that 90% category that left their husbands. Now just wait for this comment section to blow up on all the women that tell me they are the exception, that 90% are leaving because the men are so.
If you see a female and you think she's pretty, tell her. Like her energy?
Tell her. Like her outfit? Tell her.
No.
So many people will speak up when they don't like something, but become silent when they do. Speak up and...
Oh, shut up.
It's such a sad day when the guy who always has a flames emoji for you, who always has a little heart on your grid post type of thing, who always has a when we hanging, you know, for you. When that guy gets a girlfriend, you're always kind of like, oh, thought you were going to pine over me forever? Thought we loved our little cheeky...
I got a message from a woman who said that there's a man that she's interested in and she sees him go out on dates with other women. She goes on to say that they spend a lot of time together. They're both single, their kids are the same age, and their kids have common activities together. So this single man and this single woman are spending a lot of time together. They've built a friendship, but he has not asked her out. And he continues to date and sleep with other women. And it's breaking her heart because she wants him to ask her out. Now, if you're both single, there's a reason why he's not asking you out. Either he's not attracted to you.
Bingo! Yahtzee!
He doesn't think he's good enough for you.
Bullshit.
Sure, let's talk about the men that say all women are crazy. First of all, if you're in a relationship with a man who actually believes this, leave. This is misogyny, and if he isn't open to hearing that now, this will not get better. This kind of stuff is based off the hysterical woman stereotype. This is the stereotype that women are illogical beings that are quickly taken over by their emotions and irrationality.
Right, just blame men
now remember,
all the
misogyny
time.
is not just the blatant hatred of women. It's patriarchy's
I guess I'm going to be the only honest one to come out and say it. And yes, I absolutely think that all women are crazy. And if that makes me misogynistic, then congratulations, I guess that I am. And the only difference between the craziness is basically the level of crazy that you're going to get out of a woman. So you have the first type of woman that will unalive you in your sleep. Then you have the other type of woman that would like slash your tires or put glitter all over your apartment after you cheat on her or do her wrong. Then you have every now and then the woman that's just crazy, either on her period or has emotional outbursts because she's unable to regulate her emotions, which is most women. And then you have the sneaky, manipulative, narcissistic women that don't think they can do anything wrong and they don't think they're the problem and they don't seek therapy. The only difference between the different levels of crazy is whether or not women have self-awareness enough to get themselves into therapy so they can either be better humans or better partners or even attract better people. But the other problem is you have to have self-awareness instead of getting so offended that people say that all women are crazy. Like, you have to ask yourself, what is it about yourself that you get so offended by people saying that women are crazy? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. In fact, I think the majority of people are crazy, but that's another topic for another day. So y'all are weird. You need some therapy. We're all a little weird. We're all a little bit crazy. And I just don't think it's misogynistic to say that all women are crazy because we absolutely are.
I have a question for the men. Are you guys okay? Like, truly, are you okay? Because my best friend and I just became newly single last year out of long-term relationships. And it seems like every guy we go on dates with has the same issues, and they all seem to stem from deep-rooted self-insecurity issues of having a bad relationship with themselves and fear of being vulnerable with someone. And that's so sad for them. Like, I can't imagine living like that. Like, are you guys okay? Can you hug? Some warm milk and tea? I don't know.
Do you think you could handle me? I'm going to give you a checklist of things that you need in order to handle this redhead. If you can do any of these, please comment so I can slide into your DMs. Number one, and probably the most important of them all, is are you willing to compromise? I tend to steal the bedsheet when I'm in bed with someone. I will just yank it off you, even in my sleep. I'm not even conscious. I'm stealing the sheet. Are you willing to put up with this and let me have the sheet? Number two, Do you have strong legs? I need someone with strong legs, and there's a reason for this. I tend to kick in my sleep. I kick, okay? I've got strong legs myself. I need someone else to have strong legs so I can kick them and them not feel the pain. I've got Viking strength, so I need someone to deal with the Viking strength. Number 3, and definitely one of the most important ones, is are you able to have snacks on you at all times? I typically get quite hangry when I'm hungry, so I definitely need someone to aid me. I need help. And finally, are you able to deal with mood swings? A bit like a roller coaster. Are you able to deal with that? Because if you're not, unfortunately, you're out. You're out of the count. Please let me know if you've got any of these because I need someone.
I'm turning 35 pretty soon. I've never been in a relationship, and I think for the most part, I'm fine with this. It sometimes is hard during holidays, special occasions, because most other people in my family are dating someone. I never feel left out, but everyone else has their favorite person because your partner and your kids should be your favorite person. So that can be challenging, but I think for a while I wanted a relationship because I thought it would complete me, and now I just want to meet the right person. And I think that the right guy is out there, and I'm confident I will. I think it is going to work out. And even though I did think that I would have kids, and at this point I have to be realistic, at 35 it's probably not likely. I think that I could be a very good stepmom to someone. I think that I might just be an amazing aunt, you know? So for the most part, I'm completely fine with being single. I'm mostly happy with how life is going right now. There's a few things happening that are a bit, but you know, for the most part, I'm good. And next year, who knows?
And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.